Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I figured I'd tap in with y'all because we got some things that we currently need to discuss that's going on in the boxing world, man. We're going to talk about Jaron Ennis, possible opponents being revealed to the public, along with Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, and what our thoughts on that fight at this point, because that is the next biggest fight that is heading our way. Then, of course, we're going to get into some open boxing topics. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's in the building thus far. We are on subscriber only mode, so y'all need to know y'all have to subscribe, man. Y'all want to be a part of this conversation. Y'all want to chop it up. I'm on a mission right now. I'm trying to get to 4K by the end of the year. So if we're able to do so, that'll be very much appreciated. And I got one of the best support systems in the game. You feel what I mean? So it is definitely possible. Shout out to everybody that's in the comments so far, man. Shout out to the boy Forever Dedicated. He says, "Sup, Mark? How you Monday?" Everything's been well, bro. Just regular work. You feel me? Work, gym, came home, and now I'm chopping it up with y'all, man. Same old program. Simple Boxing, what up? He says, "The talent is clearly there for Boots, but the moves him and his team is making, are we serious? You're 28. The time is now. Hopefully this next part of his career will match his skills." I think you jumping the gun a little bit, brother. You got to see the moves that's being made before you pass judgment. You feel what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say about that. Carl Minda says, "Salute Mazuma TV. Don't know how to feel about those offers Boost team shot at. We definitely gonna talk about it." Go 787. What up? He says, "Salute chat and Mark. Bless everyone and family. Likewise, brother." Steer a Hook. What up? He said, "Y'all wow for what?" Chris Maldonado in the building. What up? Justin Jackson. He said, "Boots should have took that turkey route." Shaking my head. Coffee Plant in the building. Eddie Alvarez. What's going on? What's going on? That's the UFC fighter, man. You need to get at me. You got to hit me up, brother. If this is Eddie Alvarez, the UFC fighter, you need to holler at me, brother. Let's get these likes up, man. They ain't going to cost you nothing to hit that like button, man. What up? What up? Lorenzo showing love all the way from Japan. What up? Lamont in the building. He said, "Oh, brother, more Boots, unwarranted hate." See, that's exactly, yeah, that's the thing, too. It's like, bro, y'all, it's like people just trying to find any type of way to get on or try to say something negative about this dude. He don't talk crazy. He don't be going on no racist rants. He hasn't tested positive for any PEDs. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not doing anything for you to hate this man so much other than being a threat to one of your favorite fighters. You feel what I mean? Like I said, there's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of speculation right now. We're going to speak on that just for the sake of boxing talk. However, we need to see the moves be made before we make these judgments about Boots, his career moves, his promoters, whatever the case is. We need to reserve judgment until the facts come out. Jumping to conclusions only going to make you look dumb at the end of the day. You feel what I mean? So let's fall back. Let's watch, see what the hell goes on, and then once an announcement is made or whatever the case is, which I believe is going to be sometime soon, then we can make our opinions from there. You see what I'm saying? That's the type person I am. I don't really like to jump out the window and assume things when I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about or the facts not in front of me. He said, "Hope you're not pro Boots because you're from Philly." I am pro Boots. I am pro Boots. So now what? What the fuck that mean? Boots is one of my favorite fighters, so of course I'm pro Boots. So what are you saying? Because so with you saying that, are you anti Boots? Because that's the opposite of pro Boots. Are you anti Boots? What are we saying? Like, what is we even talking about? Hope you're not. Why wouldn't I be pro Boots? The fuck? What are you looking for, brother? I can tell you ain't been around long enough. Because anybody that knows me knows that my three favorite fighters in the sport of boxing right now are Bam, Boots, and Benavidez. So yeah, I am pro Boots, I am pro Bam, I am pro Benavidez. Now what? I'm saying you never say anything bad about the man. He's right in your book. What do you mean he's right in my book? What do you mean? What is he? What the fuck is he wrong about? We haven't even gotten an announcement yet, bro. We haven't even gotten an announcement yet. Now, steer a hook. I'm gonna ask you something, right? Because one of the biggest criticisms about Boots is, man, why he leave 47? What was the main concern when Boots weighed in against Stanionis? What was everybody saying? Whoever's in the chat, when Boots got on that scale against Stanionis, what was the first thing people said about Boots? Steer a hook, weight drained, right? Cool. So that may have been true. Only Boots knows how he feels, but how the way he looked, it did not look too good. I think we could all say so. We could all say that. Of course, Boots is not gonna get and say after these interviews, he's not gonna say after the weigh-in, I'm weight drained. After the fight, he's not gonna say he's weight drained. You see what I'm saying? You know why? Because fighters don't ever want to show any chinks in their armor. They don't ever, just like how they don't want to admit that they was injured in camp. They don't admit that they got beat up in sparring or got stopped in sparring. These type of things, or if they had a tough weight cut, they're not going to fucking tell you that because that could give their opponent a psychological advantage. I remember Andre Ward. He struggled with a shoulder injury the entire course of his career, or a majority of his career. And he never let nobody know until after he retired. You know why? Because he didn't want to give these guys any type of confidence going into the fight with him. A lot of this shit is psychological, bro. So if you give anybody any type of confidence, that could be the reason why they may come out victorious in a fight. It really is that deep. So when Boots got on that scale with Stanionis, they was like, oh, Boots weight drain. He just need to move up already. Okay. Boots does that, right? Boots does that. Steer a hook. You said weight drain. Beautiful answer, brother. So he goes ahead and he moves up to 54. Okay. Now he's being criticized because he didn't stay at 47 for Brian Norman, as if he didn't try to make that fight. He didn't try to make that fight multiple times with Brian Norman. I don't even want to get back into that conversation, but if you know, you know, right? Cool. You can't. He can't win either way. He can't win either way. If he stays at 47, you duck and smoke at 54. You go up to 54, you duck and smoke at 47. So which one is it? Which one is it? You feel what I'm saying? Like, what narrative are we going to be rocking with? So I'm not going to say that Boots is wrong for one. We're not going to say Boots is wrong for moving up to 154 because he did what was in the best interest of his health. And if you care about these fighters, how y'all claim y'all do, then y'all should be advocates for fighters prioritizing their health. Not necessarily. Boots ain't duck no competition at 47. He tried to get every belt he could while it was safe for him to do so. He chose, and I know that he said that, he made the way easy and shit like that. But niggas lie. He capped. It is what it is. These niggas lie all the time. These niggas lie all the time. But it's not because they fraud, bro. They not trying to give nobody any type of ideas or give these guys any type of confidence going into the fight with them, etc. You feel what I'm saying? I understand it because I used to be in that position, and when I was in that position, there was no way that I was going to let a fighter know that I had any type of weaknesses or I had anything or I was vulnerable in any sense getting in the ring with these guys. It is what it is. And I don't even want to talk about fan bases and all of that because fan bases don't help you win fights. You know what I mean? That's one thing we do know. That's one thing we do know. Then moving on, you saying that I'm pro Boots or I never hold Boots accountable. He's going up into 154. He has not made an announcement as to who he's fighting yet. And niggas want me to jump out the window and say that Boots is going to fight a tune-up. I don't know that. I don't know that. How the fuck can I just jump? And that's what a lot of these channels do. They come out here and they speak as if there's facts on the table when they're not. When there's not. There's no facts on the table. There's no evidence that suggests that Boots is going to has a solid opponent yet. It looks like he's on the lookout. He's searching. He's hunting. He's trying to see who's going to be his first fight at 154 pounds. People just want me to jump. Yo, Mark, why you, man, Boots doing a tune-up, man. How you know? If he's doing a tune-up, how do you know? Who is it then? Let me know. Shit, I would love to get some of that info. Where are your sources at? Let me know. Steer a hook. You said we just got to hold Boots accountable. We hold everybody accountable, nigga. But what I'm asking you is, what are we holding him accountable for? You can't say we got to hold him accountable and then not get into specifics, brother. What is it that we holding Boost accountable for? Because you can't say at this point in time that he's taking a tune-up. You know why? Because for one, he doesn't have an opponent yet. So how the fuck could you even say that? Yo, Steer a Hook, you fighting a bum your next fight. You don't even got a fight lined up. What are you gonna say? Let's break down those 4 offers. Okay, cool. We can break down these 4 offers. We can break them down. Let me actually share the screen. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. Just because they offers doesn't mean that the fight's going to come to reality. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, a lot of these fighters I'm going to ask you something, Steer a Hook. Is Andre Ward an all-time great? Is Andre Ward a great fighter? Is he one of the greatest fighters of this era? Let me know. Yes or no? Absolutely, right? So this is the example that I use all the time. And I've seen a few channels use this example as well. Just know that y'all heard this point here first on Mazuma TV. Andre Ward, 2-time unified in 2 divisions. 168, dominated the Super 6 series, beat notable opponents from Crawford, Edison Miranda, Arthur Abraham, them stomped on niggas. You feel me? Went up to 175, defeated the Crusher when he was the Crusher. Crusher done caught bodies, all types of shit. Cool. When Andre Ward went from 168 to 175, who was the 3 guys that he fought? And you let me know, were they big time fighters in the division at the time? You let me know. Because as far as I'm concerned, it looked like Andre Ward took some tune-ups as he acclimated to the 175-pound division. Am I lying or am I not? Is this facts or not? I could show you. You know what I'm saying? And look, like I said, Boost don't even got a solidified opponent yet, but just say he does take a warm-up fight at 154. Bro, it's his first time. You know how like Bud has moved up multiple divisions? He's moved up multiple divisions. Cool. He's accustomed to moving up in weight. He knows what it feels like. Andre Ward, he only moved up 1 weight class in his whole career from 168 to 175. He didn't know what was expected going into 175, so he wanted to get a feel for it, I guess you would say. And when he went up to 175, the first person that he fought was Paul Smith, an Eddie Hearn fighter at the time. They fought at a catch weight, I believe, of like 171, 172 pounds. Cool. Was Paul Smith a fucking killer at 175 at the time? No, but this was somebody to get him right for the division, right? Then he goes on and he fights Sullivan Barrera. I remember Sullivan Barrera. He was a sturdy, up-and-coming contender at 175. He wasn't the man, but he was solid. That was at 175. Then he goes and he fights Alexander Brand. Solid dude, but wasn't elite. I think they actually fought for a small belt when they rumbled. So, like, this was like a solid contender at 75. So Andre Ward took 3 fights before he stepped in the ring with Sergey Kovalev, bro. 3 fights. Are we bitching about Jaron Ennis taking a warm-up fight in his first fight at 154? But we got all-time greats like Andre Ward who went about it the smart way, got acclimated to the division before he went into the smoke with the killers. What's wrong with that? Jeff Horn was not a tune-up. Jeff Horn was a world champion. Skill-wise, all right. But he beat Manny Pacquiao, so he can't be that bad. Regardless of whether it was controversial or not, he beat Manny Pacquiao. His skills can't be that bad. They were bad in comparison to Bud, but let's be honest. Bud is one of the most skilled fighters of this generation. Anyways, so let's look over, Steer a Hook. He's helping the conversation right now. Shout out to Steer a Hook. These are the offers and this is just being reported by Brunch Boxing, I believe. I mean, I don't know where he's getting these sources from. I guess I could have somebody just check up on this. But these are the guys that have been who have received offers from Jaron Ennis. One, we got Rashidi Ellis, somebody that was supposed to fight Boots at one point in time when they were both at 147 pounds. But once Rashidi Ellis had lost to Romain Villa, things pretty much got derailed, and then Boots ended up fighting Romain Villa after the fact and had one of the best performances of his career. So Rashidi Ellis, cool. Rashidi Ellis is still a dangerous guy. He was beating Romain Villa. He was doing his thing until he pretty much ran out of gas and Romain Villa pressure caught up to him. So Rashidi Ellis, still a good fighter. Obviously, he's nobody at 54 yet. I don't even think he's had a fight at 54, to be honest with you. But that'll be Rashidi Ellis could pose Boots and probably got some really fast hands. He got good boxing. You know what I mean? He's a respected guy. I've seen that he's been staying sharp with the Team Combat League as well. So I wouldn't necessarily say that he would be rusty coming off of the couch to fight Boots. You know what I mean? He's staying sharp. He's staying in camp. Rashidi said the money was too low the last time. Hey, man, Boots just happened to be in that position at the time where he wasn't the highest reward. He's still not the highest reward. So I don't know why people expect, he's not like this cash cow. So I don't know why these guys expect Boots to just bring millions upon millions of dollars to the table when he's not in that position yet to be giving these guys these type of purses. You know what I mean? He's still working his way up. Boots not even cracking the pound for pound list. So, you know what I'm saying? We gotta, you know what I mean? We just gotta keep things real from that perspective. Josh Kelly, we already spoke about this. Josh Kelly lost to David Evanesian at 147 pounds, got beat up pretty bad, but since he's been at 154, you know what I mean? I think he's like on a 6-fight win streak, I believe. Nobody notable, of course, but he is a top contender in the WBO as of right now. He might be the number one guy, to be honest with you. So if Boots were to beat him, that could possibly be a WBO final title eliminator. And from there, you know what I mean, Boots could possibly become Xander Zaya's mandatory if Xander Zaya sticks around long enough in the division to be mandated to fight Boots. You see what I mean? Is that the biggest fight? Absolutely not. Rashidi Ellis isn't the biggest fight neither. Now, this guy right here, Andreas Katsurakis, I'm not familiar with dude. I'm not. I could give you like a brief analysis. I mean, BoxRec obviously doesn't tell it all. It doesn't. But let me see. How you pronounce this motherfucker? How you spell this nigga name? It's a Katsurakis. I could be saying it totally wrong, but this is somebody who's at 154 pounds. He's ranked number 21 in the world from Greece, 5'10", currently out of Houston, Texas. 16-0 with 11 knockouts. Now, I don't see anybody notable on his resume neither, but he has a pretty good ranking in terms of BoxRec, and it looks like he got no, never mind. I'll take that back. I was looking at his amateur background, but he is only showing 2 international fights that he's had. But yeah, he beat an 11-0, it's 12-0. You know what I mean? Nobody really notable. I don't know if Andreas is ranked in any type of sanctioning body or whatever the case is. I don't know. Somebody gonna have to do their Googles. Nigga said, "Who that? My grandpa?" That's crazy. Josh Kelly said he's not accepting the offer because the money was too low. Yeah, I heard Josh Kelly say that. You know what I mean? Josh Kelly said that they offered him less than half of what he's made in 10-round bouts. And if that's the case, that is definitely a low ball. But I can't really put that on Boots because at the end of the day, he's not the one that's making these offers. You know, that's Eddie Hearn who's making these offers. You feel what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned, Boots is he does have a quote. I think he has a partnership with Matchroom. However, Matchroom is the one that's putting the bread up. They're the ones that's making these events happen. They're the ones who's booking the venues. You know what I mean? Sending the fight offers. So it got to be Matchroom and them that's, not showing these offers that these guys like. You feel me? I don't think Josh Kelly is necessarily a scrub neither. But yeah, I mean, I don't think he's fucking with Boots, and he hasn't really done anything, to really make me believe that he beats Boots. Not at all. Elijah Soul says Kelly was supposed to counter. That's negotiations. Right. Right. It seemed like they just heard the offer and was like, no, I'm cool. When it should have been, all right, I'm looking more in the ballpark range of this. Can we make this happen? You know what I mean? And maybe, just maybe. But then again, I heard them say that the lawyers was like, oh, we offering you this much for this fight date and this location. You got 24 hours to respond, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, if you're giving people ultimatums like that, it's like them rejecting it is like almost bound to happen. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know. Steer Hook says, what if it's on the situation where Boost is supposed to be at 60 and now grew 54 because I'm staying at 47 his whole life? I don't think that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Boost is a big guy, but I don't think he's like 160 material yet. You know what I mean? And at the same time, 7 pounds is gonna make a whole lot more of a difference, bro. Trust me. I don't really see that happening. Anything is possible, but I don't really care to speak on that because that don't seem like that's something that's realistic in my opinion. Now, of course, Charles Conwell at one point in time, you know what I mean? If you let the people tell it, he was the boogeyman of the 154-pound division. A lot of guys didn't want to fight him. You know what I mean? He was high risk, low reward, and he unalived somebody in the ring before. You know what I mean? R.I.P. to Patrick Day. You feel what I mean? So he definitely had like a dark reputation about him. And since he's lost to Jorge Garcia Perez, who's Andy Zayas just beat for a world title, a lot of people have been throwing dirt on Charles Conwell's name as if he's a nobody, as if as if he's some type of scrub. And I'm here to disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? Charles Conwell is very much dangerous. I don't know exactly what happened on the night of that fight, but I'm sure that with who Charles Conwell is, he could possibly bounce back from this. You know what I mean? Learn a whole lot more from this and become an even more dangerous fighter. You see what I mean? So to be honest with you, neither one of these guys right here is like the fucking huge fights that's 50-50. Boost is in the toughest fight of his life. No, this ain't one of these situations. What I think is Boost wants to fight somebody that he could get some rounds in with to see how his body feels at 154, what they expect at 154. Because you got to understand, there's a lot of things that change. These guys, these 154-pound guys are punching harder. They punch resistance is better. You know what I mean? You switching from 8-ounce to 10-ounce gloves. So that's a difference as well. They boiling down from bigger weights. So now Boots is going to have to be more mindful of, these guys possibly being bigger than him because at 47, he was pretty much accustomed to being the bigger guy. So there's going to be some different scenarios that's going to be in play that Boots has yet to experience. So with these things being taken into consideration, that's why I'm not really tripping that Boots is taking a warm-up fight going into the division. He has zero experience in moving up in weight. You know what I mean? He has zero experience in knowing what it's like to fight a legit 154-pound fighter. He has no experience fighting a 10-ounce in 10-ounce gloves. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things he has yet to experience. So why would he take the chance to figure it all out against a top guy at 54? Like I said, there's all-time great fighters that we praise and discuss to this day that have taken a similar route. So why judge Boots for it? Steer Hook says Mazuma. Wait. Appreciate you, brother. Definitely hit the thumbs up, man. We got 18 likes. We got 33 people in the building. Let's get 33 likes in the building, man. I appreciate everybody that's coming through and showing love. You feel me? Big Soldier MX, what up, man? He said Boots versus Lara or Carlos. Well, that's a middleweight bout, brother. But you said Boots at 60 will get the names. So, Big Soldier, you suggest he just skip 54 and go to 60? I don't know, man. I think 154 more action-packed. I feel like Boots would get a lot more credit and possibly crack the pound for pound rankings if he were to beat the guys at 154 in comparison to 160. They got some solid guys at 160. Let's not get it confused, but 154, there's a killer on every corner over there. You feel me? Boots gonna have to he gonna have to walk through that jungle and walk out that bitch with a motherfucking lion's like a lion's mane on him. You feel me? He gonna have to, you know what I mean? He gonna have to prove something. 154 definitely got the names. Definitely got the names, bro. 54 more deep than 60 in my opinion. Hands down. I don't even, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I feel like that's a no-brainer, to be honest with you. The only real comp at 60 is John Beck. I also put some respect on Carlos Adame's name. I loved his performance against Hamza Shiraz. You feel what I mean? So I'm gonna put some respect on his name as well. I actually want to see John Beck and Adames fight each other already. You know what I mean? Everybody's pointing the finger at Adames and shit like that, but nonetheless, that's a fight that I would love to see. Lara at 160. I think Lara how much longer y'all think Lara got in boxing, period? I think that Lara is like a bad loss away from hanging it up. You know, he been knocking everybody out, sitting down on his punches, packing niggas up and shit. But to be honest with you, a lot of these guys that Lara knocking out, you know what I mean? They ain't no real big names. You feel me? But Erislandy Lara, he's currently the oldest champion in boxing right now, from what I understand. You know what I mean? I just think that Erislandy Lara is so underappreciated. I think he's so underrated, bro. Like, this dude been at the top of he was on the top of 154 for years, bro. Always was relevant, always was a top name, heavily avoided in my opinion. He got robbed a lot. Can you imagine if they would have given him that Paul Williams win along with the Canelo Alvarez win? Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Like, he's been in exciting fights. People can't say that about Lara. You can't say Lara was a boring fighter, because I can name you 3-4 fights that he was in that was bangers. That Castano fight, that was a banger. That Jared Hurd fight, that prime Jared Hurd he went up against, that was a banger. The motherfucking Alfred Angulo fight, that was a banger. So that Paul Williams fight was his thing too. You know what I mean? They robbed the shit, man. He fried Paul Williams. They robbed him. He made Danny quit last year. Facts. Danny ain't have no business being in the ring with him. I don't know what he was on. You know what I mean? I guess Danny's content. You know what I'm saying? Look, like, Danny came around in boxing at the right time, because he started popping off when PBC first came on the scene. And when just like a lot of these new boxing companies, when they come on the scene, they trying to get the big fighters. They trying to make all the best fights so people could, back their network and stuff like that. So what they do, they overpay fighters. And Danny was getting cashed out crazy. Even when he was with Golden Boy, he was getting all these big fighters. He was a product of great matchmaking, great management. And he made the right business moves behind the scene, especially locking in with Al Heyman. Like, this man was a unified champion at 140, beat notable guys over there, fought on big cards and shit like that, beat Lucas Matisse, Lamont Peterson, even though that was controversial. Lamont Peterson, Amir Khan. He beat Eric Morales. He beat a lot, Zab Judah. And then he went up to 47 and got a belt. Beat former world champions Paulie Malignaggi, Robert Guerrero, Brandon Rios. Like, Danny did some great shit. So when you make all that fucking money, especially the fights he lost, the Sean Porters, the Keith Thurmans, the Errol Spencers, man, Danny made millions, bro. So I guess, having all that money and being so comfortable, he didn't really feel the need to put in the work how he used to. So now he sat around a long ass time. First of all, And then I remember when I seen Danny face to face in person, talking about I'll probably fight Lara at the end of this year, blah blah. I'm like, Lara, and in my head I'm like, Lara at middleweight right now, bro. What is we even talking about? So he pretty much goes up there. I mean, he beats up on Jose Benavidez and shit like that. Then he fights at a catch weight or whatever the case is. Fighting, even though Erislandy Lara not the biggest dude, he acclimated to 154. He acclimated to 160. You wanted to go ahead and try your hand with him. You went in there beating. He definitely lost to Herrera in Puerto Rico. That was embarrassing. But anyways, you want to go try your hand with Erislandy Lara. Bro, Erislandy Lara would have smoked you in at any phase of your career. The 140 Danny, the 147 Danny, like you could not beat Lara. That's just a terrible style. And I was telling everybody that would listen, I'm like, bro, Lara really sitting down on his punches now, bro. He knocking shit out the frame. I said, Danny better not play with him. He ain't never get hit by them big dudes like that. What's the first thing he do? As soon as he get a light shot, in my opinion, like not even the most solid shot, not even the most devastating shot, and he ain't want no more. Quit. In my opinion, he quit, or at least his corner quit for him. Lara definitely beat Canelo. I spoke to Danny. Danny be around, bro. We had I didn't speak to him like on some one-on-one shit, but we was like talking as a group. And we had some pro fighters fighting on the card at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. That was the same day that Jaron Ennis was there with Jared Anderson, and they signed my boxing glove. Danny Garcia was in the building too. And he was talking to my dad. He was talking to one of the pros that we got, Femi. And we was just having regular conversation. And they asked him what he doing next. And he said it. He said probably fight Lara at the end of the year. And he did. And we seen what happened. I think Angel did stop the fight. Angel not stupid. He knew where that was going to go. He know his son didn't look like himself, so he threw the towel. It is what it is. Kenny did the same shit to Sean for Bud. By the way, PBC, I didn't think they was going to do this neither. PBC just uploaded the full fight for Lamont Roach versus Tank. I only got to watch. By the time I, noticed it, I was already setting up for the live. You feel me? Oh, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be having Ernesto Tito Mercado on the channel, man. We're going to be doing a Mazuma TV sit down, just chopping it up with the 140-pound contender to talk about, his upbringing. We're going to talk about, what he's accomplished in his amateur career, very extensive amateur career. We're going to talk about the pros. We're going to talk about it all, man. So be on the lookout for that. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna bring out the StreamYard link. You feel what I mean? We're gonna get it on and popping. So make sure you there. Set your alarm clocks. You feel what I mean? Set the motherfucking alarm clocks. If I don't set up if I'm not on at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's probably because the show got postponed, whatever the case is. But letting y'all know right now, be there in the building. Had some detractors on my channel talking about, man, you better not bring, man, I hope you're not thinking about bringing Tito Mercado, but I am, nigga. So we're going to have a great conversation. And I'm going to show these motherfuckers, we're going to show these motherfuckers how to do a real interview. We're going to show these niggas how to do a real interview. Let's go, champ. Talk about that Emiliano fight. I'm gonna write that down for you, bro. Write it in the group chat so I can write it down. I got my questions, all of my notes. I got the questions. I'm well prepared, brothers. I'm well prepared, brothers and sisters. Look at that. Look at that. We're gonna get it popping. Tito about to talk heavy shit. That's a fact. It's gonna be lit. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to bring him on. Had some people request him as well, but Tito talks his shit. You feel me? He don't duck. He speak his mind about any and everything. And that's the type of people that we need on Mazuma TV. You know what I mean? Not these niggas that just be like, what are you expecting on July 21st? Fireworks. This is the best training camp that I've ever had. And I just want to thank God for this opportunity. None of that bullshit. Let's get to the nitty gritty around this motherfucker. He said, how many questions you wrote, bro? Well, first of all, I wrote down some like some of Tito Mercado's achievements. I wrote my intro. And about questions, I have 15 so far. Probably gonna close out with about 20. Not every. I'm gonna just this is what I do. This is my process, right? I'll write questions down, right? And I'll try to get every like question in, but at the same time I let the interview flow. You feel me? There's some interviews that I just do off of the fly, like the Rolly Romero interview. I didn't really prepare for that one. We was just talking back and forth. It was really just bidding and just talking, you know what I mean? Regular shit. But this is gonna be me showing that I can actually do an interview. You feel what I'm saying? And as the conversation flows, you know what I mean, we could talk about other shit, you feel what I mean, and all that. So yeah. Tito Mercado on the channel. I'm gonna be making an announcement on my on the post side of whatever the hell you call that shit on YouTube. Get the word out there, of course. And we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. You feel what I mean? Dangerous Desire Bullies, what up? Big Soldier MX, he says, Boost might as well fight Ellis or Cobbs at 154. Bro, you see what you just did there, Big Soldier? You know damn well motherfuckers is not going to give Boost no credits for fighting Blair Cobbs at 154. Blair is the WBC People's Champ at 147. How can he possibly fight Blair Cobbs at 154 pounds? Old Money Swag in the building. Says Boots will take over in 154 in due time. I'll take that Ellis fight first. I like that fight. You know what I'm saying? Rashidi Ellis, that's a good fight. Nita Bozy interview. See, they don't like to do. See, I'm a busy man, right? For those of y'all who know my schedule, you already know how my shit go. I'm pretty much working 10 hours, 10, 11 hours a day. Feel me? From the job to the gym. You know what I mean? And I don't really get no days off. And usually when I have my days off, I'll be kicking in the crib with my son. We getting haircuts, whatever we doing, chilling with the family, whatever. Bulls and them, they don't really like to do like internet interviews. You feel me? So for me to really get those interviews, I'm gonna have to go to the gym personally for them to do it. And for those of y'all who not too familiar with the Philadelphia area, they train like a half hour away from my crib. I'm in the middle of North Philly. They train. I'm not going to expose where they train at because I know niggas be weird. They got stalkers and shit like that. They train like far northeast. So like where the white people live. You feel me? So that's a little bit of a drive. You feel me? So I don't know. Like if it was down the block, I could probably get that shit done. Just, you know, whatever. But I haven't seen Bozy and them on a long time now, probably like close to a year. You know what I mean? So I got no. The last time I seen him was when Boots fought Karen. The lead up to that fight, because then that's when I met Bam and all that, I think. Yeah, so that was the last time I seen them. But the last time I've been in the gym with them had to be around a year ago, and I brought my fighter Derek Moore to go spar his guys over there. When Derek sparred Breadman's fighter and Bozy's fighter, Christian Cardo and Romel Cruz, you know what I'm saying? So that was the last time I went to the gym over there. It was great work. Bozy got some of the best. Got some of the best fighters in the world. I'm gonna say that. You said Cheltenham. No, you would be incorrect, sir. I used to live up Cheltenham, and that's not where their gym is at. Yeah, I know Bozy very well. I still got Bozy number, I think. Do I still got Bozy number? Bozy used to call me on the regular too. Ask me how everything. Yeah, I still got Bo number. Yeah. See, a lot of these interviews is like within my reach. I just haven't been. I don't really feel like my specialty is interviews. I'll do it occasionally. But like, I don't know. I might just switch it up and do some and get in my interview bag. I'll see. I ain't no more leaking coffee. Stop it. I'm not anti-social. I just know what's my lane and what's not my lane. Shout out to the 43 people that's in the building, man. Hit the likes. Hit the likes. You never seen Bozy smile. He always serious. Bozy is the man. Very nice person. He don't take no shit though. He not gonna let you play with him, but you know what I mean? As long as you keep it respectful, he's a real solid OG. I fuck with Bozy heavy. Who I got, Canelo or Bud? Hey, man, I look at it as 50-50, bro. It all depends on how the way Bud acclimates to the weight class. It all depends on his game plan as well. Is his legs going to be underneath him? Because he's definitely going to have to use it in spots. Is he going to have the stamina to be able to be active for 12 rounds and not be fatigued due to the extra weight that's on him? So it's a lot, bro. It's a lot. Bud looking huge. Mazuma, bring the photo up. Yeah, I seen that, bro. I seen it. Let me see. Let's stop sharing real quick. You never know with Twitter, you know what I mean? You never know. It might be some shit that get me demonetized. Let's see. Let me see if Terence got it on his Twitter. Nah, he ain't got it on his. I don't think his Instagram and Twitter is connected. Let's see, I'll pull it up for y'all. Yeah, Bud definitely look big. There's no doubt. But you know what I mean? Do you have the conditioning to support that additional weight that you have on you? That's a different conversation. And we really won't know. And I know Bud trains his ass off and he does what he needs to do. But at the same time, he's not going to have to train as hard to get the word up out of him. Bro said the magic word. Shout out to my boy. Shout out to my boy Lorenzo with the $2 super chat. Every time I say demonetize, he send the bread. Nah, bro. We straight today. You know what I mean? I've been working on, reducing my cursing. You know what I mean? Not getting on these crazy rants and stuff like that. So we getting somewhere. Justin Jackson said he on snack, he'll be good. Man, let's not do that, Justin. Let's not do that, bro. I'm getting real sick of, and I'm not saying this you, Justin, but I'm getting real sick of these narratives that's being pushed out here that like people are suspecting Bud of being on PEDs and stuff like that, bro. It's like, bro, y'all got to be better than that, man, because and a lot of people, they hypocritical at the same time because when people actually test positive for PEDs, a majority of these channels, they defending them. You know what I mean? So y'all defending drug cheese, but then y'all shitting on dudes that y'all suspect that y'all suspect the drug cheese. Y'all people gotta make up their minds, man. There's a lot of inconsistencies. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of contradictions within these dudes' statements. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, these guys are advocates for clean boxing, but y'all let that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia situation go by and be like, oh, it wasn't PEDs wasn't the reason why Ryan won. How you know that? How you know that? So they seem like they was neutral. They seemed like they was a bit neutral when it came to PEDs when Devin Haney fell victim to it. But you know what I mean? When it comes to Terence Crawford, you know what I mean? You know what it is for real? A lot of people are scared of what Bud may possibly do in this fight against Canelo Alvarez. A lot of these dudes are Canelo Alvarez fans. A lot of these dudes cater to Canelo Alvarez's fan base. So what they're doing right now is they pushing these narratives about Bud. So in case he defeats Canelo Alvarez, that'll be something they can lean back on to prevent people from giving Terence Crawford the credit he deserves. You see what I mean? Which is crazy because only one out of these two guys that y'all criticizing test positive for PEDs before. Let's just keep this shit factual. You know what I mean? Canelo Alvarez tested positive in previous fights. I can't recall a single fight from Bud where he tested positive for a performance enhancement drug. But for some reason, Bud is facing criticism for possibly being on PEDs. How about criticizing Canelo Alvarez for being a past user of performance enhancement drugs? How about that? How about that? But y'all won't do that because a lot of these YouTube channels, they put the money over their integrity. You know what I mean? They'll rather satisfy a fan base so they can keep that check coming in comparison to keeping it real and standing by their people. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between me and a lot of these other motherfuckers, bro. I'm made outside of this YouTube shit. Like I said, I told y'all what I be doing with this money. This shit goes into, if it doesn't go towards the production of this channel, then this shit gets wired right to my son's bank account. You know what I'm saying? That's how insignificant this YouTube money is to me. But a lot of these dudes, this how they pay their bills. You feel me? So they got to go against their morals. You know what I mean? They got to go against, what they feel is right because that's how they get paid. You know what I mean? A lot of these niggas is suckers, bro. A lot of these niggas are suckers, bro. That's why I don't really be caring. I reached out to somebody to try to do like a collaboration, and if we do that, that'll be pretty dope. But that's actually because I respect dude. You know what I mean? But besides that, that's why I really don't care to be collabing with people. That's why I don't be giving a fuck to be doing debates with nobody. Even though I fried that these niggas that they call it, this nigga that they calling the debate king right now on YouTube, I done fried him. Now I'm saying, oh man, one thing about that guy, you know what I mean? He sure know how to debate. Whole time I fried him. Easy work. You feel me? But that's a different conversation, man. That's why I don't really be caring to debate people. You know what I mean? I just stick to my lane and what I do, and I know the success gonna come slowly but surely. Because for one, I work my ass off, and two, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So if you want to know about boxing, if you want to get a knowledgeable opinion from somebody who's actually done been in the game and know the ins and outs, you ain't gonna have no choice but to come over here. That's just the reality. You feel me? So yeah, it's just funny, bro. A lot of these dudes, you know what I mean? They look like Bud. You know what I mean? They black men just like Bud. You feel me? And they know damn well Bud ain't never test positive for no PEDs, and they ain't got no solid evidence to suggest that Bud is on PEDs. But they got a certain fan base to cater to. You know what I mean? They got to push certain agendas in order to keep their channel alive. So they push these bullshit narratives. It is what it is. That's what a lot of these dudes do. I know after they get up off of they channels and they videos and shit, you know what I mean? They how they be feeling internally and what they put out into the public be two totally different things. But to me, that's a textbook definition of a sellout. A textbook definition of a sellout. When you know that what you doing is wrong, but you continue to do it anyway because you feel like that's the only way that you could be successful in life. You's a sucker, nigga. Straight up sucker. I be seeing what they be doing. They trying to keep that. They trying to keep that side of boxing happy. You feel me? Just so they can keep that money flowing in. I be seeing y'all. A lot of y'all ain't. A lot of these we be like, yo, man, he dumb. He don't know what he talking about, bro. He's smarter than what you think. He's smarter than what you think. He know what he doing is wrong. He know the opinion that he's taking is wrong, but he's pushing it in order to fulfill something that he got going on. You feel me? Definitely some TMZ ass niggas. You know what I mean? They really calling this nigga Taco Head. That shit funny. But yeah, bro. I don't know, man. It just make me question a lot of this shit sometimes because y'all know, like, my intentions, outside of being a boxing coach, of course, I want to get into commentary, you know what I mean, and all that good stuff. I already know how it's gonna go, bro. I'm gonna have to just big this platform up and just have my own network and move off of my own, wave. Because I'm seeing the people that's actually getting opportunities from these big boxing networks and big boxing media outlets and stuff like that, and it don't be the knowledgeable ones. It really don't. It be the people that be selling bullshit, that don't be knowing what they talk about, not knowledgeable about the sport whatsoever, never done been in the ring. You know what I mean? And if you don't necessarily need to be in the ring, but they ain't never put in no time as a journalist, they never sat down and they have controversial takes. You know what I mean? And they make these controversial takes, purposely to get people to watch their channels. You know what I mean? They push bullshit narratives because they feel like that's what sells. And you know what I mean? They run those numbers up, and then these are the guys that get the opportunity. A lot of these niggas that get these opportunities is because they popular, not because they're knowledgeable. That's what I've come to find out. Like, there's no way there's no way you could say that Showbiz got his opportunity because he earned his stripes in boxing or he really knows boxing. Not at all. Not at all. You know what I mean? Outside of myself, because I'm not like this selfish ass nigga. Like, I could give other people props. If anybody deserves to be in that spot, like to be like a commentator or whatever, Greg Haggett is one of the most knowledgeable dudes in the YouTube boxing community outside of myself and a few others. I would much rather hear him talk boxing. You know why? Because y'all be shitting on the dude record, but one thing y'all won't take into consideration is that record built instilled knowledge and experience in him that you can't buy. That you can't buy. That shit that money can never buy you experience. Money can never buy you knowledge. You feel what I'm saying? So Greg, with everything he experienced in the sport from a coaching's perspective, from a pro boxer's perspective, that's some shit that you can never that's something that you can't really teach. You just got to experience that shit. Go 787, salute, brother. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I always give Greg credit for, bro. He done been there. He done did that. He done had the wins. He done had the losses. He done experienced every part of the sport from a trainer's perspective and a fighter's perspective. So that's the type of guy you should be listening to on commentary. Somebody who done actually did the shit. Not a nigga who watched a couple clips and got some clout off of the internet. You know what I mean? And now you're giving them a position to speak about, actual fighters. That's disgusting, bro. Just my opinion. Steven Jackson. Coffee, don't get me started, bro. Don't get me started. Ralphie Ray goes in the building. He said, if Crawford beats Canelo, I think Turkey will want to make Crawford versus Benavidez at 68. If this were to happen, what do you think about the potential fight? I don't think that fight happens at all, Ralphie, to be honest with you. I think that if Terence Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez, there's probably going to be a rematch that follows up after that fight, or Terence Crawford just walks away from the sport as a whole. Like I said this millions of times already. I had Bomac on the channel. You know what I mean? I asked Bomac, if Terence Crawford gets this opportunity against Canelo Alvarez, will he be done after the fact? And Bomac said, yeah. And, I forgot who was talking not too long ago, but they revealed that Terence Crawford said that after the Canelo fight, he may very possibly be done as well. Forgot who said it, but it was definitely a credible person. You know what I mean? I think Shakur said it. Somebody said it. So I don't even think that opportunity will ever come to the surface because, you know what I mean? Crawford, he going up to 168 just off of the opportunity, not because he's looking to take over 68. You know what I mean? He understands that Canelo is a smaller guy. You know what I mean? He's been able to win those fights at 68 because he happens to be the more experienced, faster guy, you know what I mean, who's been able to rely on his, speed and experience to get over on these guys. You feel what I mean? And Terence Crawford feels like he could match wits with Canelo. He feels like he's just as strong as Canelo. He has more of a will to win than Canelo. So that's why he's taking the opportunity. He's just not going to be going up here and just fighting anybody at 68. He's taking this simply off of the opportunity in itself. You said, but as you said earlier, boxers are liars. Very true. Very true. But we just speaking opinions right now. And I personally believe, I could be wrong. I personally believe that if Terence Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez in September, either a rematch is gonna happen between the two where Bud will cash out again, or he'll walk away from boxing altogether. Just my personal opinion. I don't think Benavidez and Crawford will ever happen. He'll fight. He'll fight Jose Benavidez. He ain't fighting no David Benavidez, bro. Trust and believe that. Just my opinion. If Bud prove me wrong, that's a bad motherfucker right there, boy. If Bud were to actually fight Benavidez, bro, I'm like, oh yeah, he's a lunatic. He's insane. He's insane. You feel me? But y'all remember when Ellie Sackback had asked Earl if he'll fight Benavidez? He was like, man, hell no. He said, man, you know how they be talking in Texas, man, hell no. And I was like, I feel you, bro. I feel you. I wouldn't fight that big motherfucker neither. You feel me? I respect weight classes. Niggas be talking about, Mark, would you fight Jake Paul? Fuck no. Fuck no. I am 5'9", and at 180 pounds, I'm built like motherfucking Andy Ruiz, bro. I ain't got no 180, 190. I'm built like Andy Ruiz out this motherfucker. Chris Arreola, all them niggas. Or heavyweight James Toney, whatever you want to call it. I ain't fighting these cruiserweight, heavyweight motherfuckers. Ain't none of them gonna hit me upside my head. You out your damn mind. I respect weight classes. So that ain't happening. Shit. Them motherfuckers be 190, 200, 210, 220 and be cut the fuck up. Go ahead and put me on the scale at 200 pounds. I'm going to be built like Umaga out this motherfucker. Shit. My ideal weight where I feel strong, 160. This wouldn't be like a pro fighting weight, of course, but like where I feel strongest at is like 165, 160. That's when I'll be like, oh, cut the fuck up and shit like that. He said niggas gonna look like Samoa Joe. That is hilarious. Shout out to Samoa Joe. He a legend. Mazuma versus Jonabek. You trying to get me killed. See, I ain't no real middleweight neither because I'm the type boy that I probably will weigh in at 160 and then the next day be like 164 or 165. Them niggas be 180. Shit. That nigga ain't fuck no. Fuck no. I would be a big welterweight. I wouldn't be the biggest welterweight, but I'd be a big welterweight. That's all I know. 47. I would rehydrate crazy off 147. I'd probably be 168 the day after if I had to guess. Like 165, 168 around there. Mazuma versus Ella. Damn, Justin, you trying to get me lined. God damn. Josh Kelly. Shit. I was thinking about one of these YouTube boxers, bro. I ain't fighting none of these pros. You tripping. He trying to line me. Mazuma versus Boots at 54. Ralphie, you must not want to see me ever again. You must want me to not make it home to my son. That's what you want? You trying to take my son away from his father? That's what you trying to do? You trying to have my father, you trying to have my son be fatherless? That's fucked up, Ralphie. Mazuma versus Charleston White. I fuck with Charleston White. So I don't be liking that shit that he be talking about like, black people and shit like that and all that. I don't be fucking with that. But I fuck with but I understand that's a character that he be playing just to get people to pay attention to him. The Charleston White I know is he does like prison reform and he's helped out a lot of impoverished kids and things like that. I would never fight Charleston White. He way too little. I just seen Charleston White box that island boy. A nigga like me, bro. Nah, too small. See, the niggas that's like my size that I would fight is like the DDGs and fucking what's that nigga name? He be boxing. He like he got a little bit of skills too. I think his name like Scam Likely or something like that. I will fight him. I would even fight some of these niggas that got boxing channels. For real. Blueface, I would definitely block. I would box Blueface for sure. Mazuma versus Showbiz. Showbiz look a little big, but I'll probably break him up because he can't fight. In my opinion. This nigga said Barrios. I'll fuck around, clip Barrios. I'm gonna let Rolly take care of that though. Mazuma versus Champ side. What? I don't even know what Champ side. I don't even know how he I don't even know like his attributes. I don't know. He tall, he not. I don't know his weight, nothing. I'm looking forward to seeing Champ side though, for sure. Mazuma versus H Money. I will knock H Money smooth out. I would knock him smooth out. I will break everything at H Money face if I had the chance. Said next gen said I'll be telling Champ side running. You trying to rumble him? I will beat the shit out of Southpaw. He know that too. That's why he'll never fight me. He just be talking on the internet. He would never fight me. Next gen, you be trying to rumble Champ side? Mazuma versus Mill City. I would definitely fight Mill City. Mill City look like he could rumble too. He look like I was watching him train the one time. I was like, he got some experience. You could tell. That'd be a good job. Mazuma versus Dean the Great. Dean looked like he could rumble a little bit too. He just a square. Yeah, Champ side said some shit in my direction I ain't really like, but if he come to Philly in October, I'll address it. Ain't no beef though. Mazuma versus Mr. Suspicious. Who the fuck is Mr. Suspicious? Mr. Sus? Hell no. Justin, I ain't gonna speak on the Southpaw situation. Mazuma versus Tank. Fuck no. That little nigga ain't gonna be hitting me upside my head. Yeah, Mr. Sus is wild. I would not want to fight a nigga named Mr. Sus. Ray Jackson? Who the fuck is Ray Jackson? I'm bigger than who? Greg Hager versus Mazuma. Greg Hager got way too much experience for me, bro. He got way too much experience. And plus, he be way heavier than me, too. Greg be Greg crazy, bro. Nigga be fighting at heavyweight, cruiserweight. Hell no. Greg got a lot of experience, bro. I probably spar Greg, but that's if I'm in shape. I'm not sparring no nigga named. I am not sparring no Greg out of shape. That's like just asking me to get beat up. Who taller between who? I'm taller than Greg, but Greg is heavier than me. I'm 5'9". He probably like 5'6". Like 5'6". Canelo versus Better Beef. Who you got? Better Beef. Greg got to be like 5'6". I'm 5'9". I'm closer to 5'10", but we just say 5'9". Said Tony Ferguson really fighting Salt Bobby. Who cares? Wait, what? Yo, Justin, you said who? How you know Checo? Oh, hold up. Yo, Justin, you from Philly? Oh, hold up. I gotta stop this conversation right now. Yo, Justin, how you know Checo? You from Cali, so how you know Checo? The internet? You gotta answer that. To you? What you mean to you? I told you about Checo? When I told you about Checo? Through you? Damn, Justin, man, that's how you know I be talking too much. He definitely did steal from me. But that's crazy that you remember his name. You know, my little cousin just knocked him out in an exhibition. He knocked him out. One punch, put Checo to sleep. Now, Checo got to be like 5 foot even. I'm not even exaggerating. He probably 4'11", 5 foot even. So, like, he literally like a dwarf. You feel me? I would never swing on Checo. I would never do that. He would have to do some wild shit for me to do that. Like that type shit, that's not even worth my time, bro. That's like a cheetah would feel insulted if you told it to race a sloth, nigga. Like I would never just uh I wouldn't just fight anybody. Like if I'm fighting somebody, it's because they would probably present a challenge for me. You feel me? Him versus Mazuma, like Big Show versus Rey Mysterio. Like I seen him get knocked out by another midget, bro. Like I'm not even joking. Pitbull versus Shih Tzu. Bro, it's just some shit you shouldn't even just do. You feel me? I would feel like a shitty person if I was to ever do something like that to somebody. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll definitely fight one of these YouTube niggas though. Cause y'all gotta remember, like, when I was really just starting to get shit started, like with my amateur career, I got sick. Um, I was learning really fast. I was sharp. And that's mostly because I was in boxing. I was involved in boxing my whole childhood. You feel me? But like when I really started to like turn shit up, I got diagnosed with my illness. So I'm not experienced, not as experienced as these a lot of these guys that's being mentioned. I should fight KSI. KSI, he like a cruiserweight. I will feel good because he a thief. See, the thing about Check is the nigga would have just asked for it, I would have gave it to him. So I felt disrespected. But it's like probably the most he would get is like a open hand from me. Like that type shit deserve a slap, but to beat his ass, I can't do that, bro. Besides Southpaw, who else would you box out of the boxing channels? Um, y'all said Mill City. I would box Mill City. Um, H Money, Southpaw. Um, I would fight Showbiz. I ain't gonna lie. I would. Even though I know he bigger than me. He looks strong too, but my fault. Them niggas kicked me off the live. I don't know what happened. Jamal slapped. Yeah, I would definitely slap the shit out. I should have slapped Checo, but I didn't. My dad was about to do that shit, and they got him up out of there. Trying to tell you, I'm non-violent, bro. They said Mazuma versus Coach Malachi. I don't know nothing about Coach Malachi, so I ain't even gonna speak on him. I clip Showbiz. Yeah, I was watching him hit the bag, and I was like, bro, I would use my movement. Just move on him, move on him, move on him. On my Keith Thurman shit, just move on him, move on him. Tire him out and shit. Play some body shots while he walking them. As soon as I see that huffing and puffing, I'll knock that nigga eyes right out his fucking sockets, nigga. I got enough power. I've put big niggas down with one punch. I would clip him with either hand, bro. I would let her beat his ass. Do that shit for the culture. That nigga Showbiz is such a coon. Like, I would literally beat his ass. Not for myself, my own gratification, bro. I'll do that shit for the culture, bro. I would definitely clip Showbiz. If I hit him clean, I would knock him out. Babe, why is you on my live? My girl seen me spar before. Babe, how would you describe that sparring session I had a while back? She be trolling. How would you describe that sparring session I had? I knocked her cousin out, by the way. It's like, no, he Asian. Not all Asians are related. I learned that. She said, amazing. She gonna hype you. She biased? Nah. Not really. Nani? Yo, Nani? That's an inside joke for my anime niggas out there. Nani? He said that's racist. I thought I fucked the money up, bro. Hit him to the body. Boof! See, I was a beast at slipping and shooting. Like slip counters. That was my specialty. So if a nigga overextended with a punch, I got him. Who you got winning out of Fanon and Southpaw? Southpaw fuck Fanon up. Southpaw, he would whoop Fanon ass. But yeah, Fanon old as shit. That'd be the exact nigga that Southpaw would try to fight too. Yeah, like Fanon at that age where that nigga chin just not there. Like when you get to a certain age, bro, you're not able to take punches no more. Like Fanon, one of them old niggas that if he get hit clean, that nigga going to sleep. Falling hard as shit too. Nigga head bouncing off the concrete like that type shit. Southpaw versus Charlie Z. Charlie Z be Charlie Z. He be throwing. He don't know he's an idiot. So he start off by throwing all bombs, and once like you walk through them Jones or you don't get hit, then he start looking for a way out. See, Charlie Z the type nigga that I will box with, and that'll turn into a real street fight. Like that'll be some shit. Like now I'm fucking slamming him on his head. I'm getting in I'm ankle picking him. Like I'm fucking this nigga up. That'll be that type shit. Hit that nigga with a dumbbell. I'll do something to him. He not gonna leave that shit the same. You said Mazuma versus Blue Blood. Come on, man. Stop it. I fuck with Blue Blood though. I definitely would whoop Southpaw ass though. Hands down, no debating. Who is you said KQ? Who that? Dank Father said Fanon got other battles to fight like a vape pen. That old ass nigga be vaping? Though I still got Southpaw number. I think he blocked my number. He blocked me after I told him let's rumble. He'll talk shit about me on his live, but then when I call him, he won't even answer. KQ be falling asleep on. Who is KQ? G Tatted Up TV. What up, brother? He said KQ is that old head who be nodding out on camera like he on drugs. Word. You see, I'm not really tapped in with these niggas like that. Like, I know like Blue Blood. Well, the first nigga that I've ever watched that inspired me to make YouTube videos was 78 Sports TV. First one. And I think that was back when I was like 16, 17. I seen a couple videos he did, like 78. He's like steered away from like the hardcore like boxing talk and shit like that. Now he just talk about like controversial, like big topics, and he support the fighters he support and shit. But like 78 was really a historian, bro. And I used to look forward to seeing his videos. He did like a video about like the black fighter from like Tom Melanu, who was like the slave that became like a boxing champ. He spoke about Jack Johnson. Like he broke that shit down so beautifully, bro. That's like one of the most classic videos in YouTube boxing community history, bro. Like in my opinion. You know what I mean? Then around that same age, I was watching Boxing Ego a little bit. Because at the time, Boxing Ego used to make like these videos with like Troy King. And Troy King was a pro boxer at the time, and they used to make some good content. So I used to like go between them two. I fell off with Boxing Ego a little bit. I ain't like how the way he used to talk to niggas and shit. So I stopped listening to him. But 78, I still listen to this day. And he's commented on a few of my, I think he came on my live a long time ago. And like he showed love and shit like that. I've been on his channel a couple times and spoke to him. 78 is the reason why I'm on YouTube today. You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth. T Street controversy. I never really listened to him. Like 78 was the main person I watched. I'm the type motherfucker, I don't really like to listen to a whole lot of people. I'll just see one person that I fuck with in particular and just rock out with that person. That's how I've always been. So it was always like 78. You said, what about Barbershop? I used to watch Barbershop because he would do interviews with fighters and like I wouldn't say press him, but like he'll ask the tough questions. And I appreciated that about him. But it's like once they took his credentials away and shit, he became real bitter, and then he just like started targeting people, and I don't know, like he was just like really bitter. I mean, once I seen Kenny Porter slap him and he didn't do nothing, I was like, oh yeah. I don't know. It was hard for me to pay him any mind after that. Then he just like always just bragging about how much money he got. And bro, I grew up around millionaires, bro. You feel what I mean? Like I got family members that's like legit millionaires on both sides of my family. I grew up around money. Like, I don't know. It always rubbed me wrong. I grew up with millionaires, but you wouldn't even know they was millionaires. You feel me? Just humble. And I don't like when motherfuckers like get to a certain type of money and then they just start like bragging about it, and that, bro. That type energy would throw me off. You said Al Heyman didn't defend versus Kelly Swanson. I mean, when the fuck Al Heyman ever defend anybody? This nigga we don't even see this nigga. The arrogance of you to think Al Heyman is gonna pop up out of his fucking hole, his cave to defend you, nigga. Like, stop it. But yeah, 78 was the main reason why I started making boxing videos. And I never took down my old videos. You could go on my channel right now and look at my oldest videos, bro. Voice sound different and everything. It was like all shy when talking about it. Like that public speaking shit threw me off a little bit. But he was the inspiration. I even put like hashtag LDBC on my videos and shit like that. That's how much I rock with 78. You feel me? Like that was my start. And then I fell off obviously because I was having my own little boxing career, and just caught up in doing what I was doing and shit. I'll make a video here and there. I always stood in touch with the boxing community. I was getting views too. I'll get like 10,000 views here, 17 here, and shit like that. But yeah, I fuck with 78 though. Slime, what up? He don't really, like I said, he be like, you could tell he don't really be motivated with boxing how he used to be. You feel me? But he be talking about like basketball and shit like that. I mean, that's cool. But 78 was really like one of the fucking goats with this boxing talk, bro. Well spoken. Knew what he was talking about. Broke down shit real well. 78 was the man. Do I watch BFTB? No. I'm gonna tell y'all what. I was on 78 Sports TV's Patreon years ago. And bro, the shit that like the real life shit he used to talk about, bro, he was like real knowledgeable dude, bro. Real knowledgeable dude. And he gave me some game that I still follow to this day. And every time I talk to 78, I always tell him, like, yo, bro, like I've been watching you since I was 16, 17 years old. I'm 27 now. You feel me? Like I grew up watching you from a small teenager to somebody who about to be 30 years old. I've been taking game from you from a hot ass minute, bro. I'm telling you, he was a big inspiration behind like the reason why I'm here today, bro. That's just the truth of the matter. I don't really be watching these dudes, bro. I don't. I watch like if I see like a report from Blue Blood that catch my attention, I watch that. I watch 78. Champ side here and there. But like for the most part, bro, I don't be knowing these niggas. on some real shit, I don't be wanting to know these niggas. And I don't want these niggas to know me for real. Because I know it's gonna get to the point where niggas gonna start mentioning me and shit like that, bro. And I'm not one of the niggas to be mentioning, bro. I ain't no tough nigga, none of that, but like I ain't no internet nigga neither, bro. So I don't even want to be a part of them situations. We got any more topics before I get up out of here, man? A boxing wave. I never heard of that. I feel like new boxing channels come up like every day though. Talk about Moses Atama. Well, he's about to fight Dillian White. Moses Atama looks like the goods. He looks like the future. He's been getting stamps from just about everybody, bro. A lot of people believe in him, and he's young. He's talented. I do think that with Usyk, with Turkey Al-Sheikh saying that Moses versus Usyk is the fight, I do think that he's doing Moses a disservice by attempting to throw him in with the big dogs right away. You know what I mean? Dillian White, that's a good fight for him. You know what I mean? That's a step in the right direction into growing into possibly being a world champion. But just throwing him in there with the pound for pound number one dude with the experience that Usyk got, and you have very little to no experience at a championship level, it's like you pretty much setting up Moses for disaster. You feel me? So I like him. I like him. You know what I mean? But I look at Marky Dan in the building, popping back up. You gonna speak on the Xander situation or what, brother? You gonna apologize? You gonna admit that you was wrong? I ain't forget. I brought it up yesterday and you disappeared again, nigga. Anonymous says Greg, Bang, 78 Blue Blood, and one or two others. Salute. There's definitely some good ones. He said drop the link. I ain't got no link, bro. I'll have a link tomorrow though. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Bang. But Greg, 78 Blue Blood, they've been around for a hot ass minute, so salute. Rouse said putting a 20-year-old in there with Usyk is like Turkey trying to ruin his career. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, YSM, of course. YSM, of course, but YSM, he talk boxing here and there, but his main thing is interviews. He does a great job at it. Yeah, like that's more of YSM's lane. He do the interviews. He get, he asks the right questions. He get the answers, and he bring it back to the people. So salute to YSM for that. He keep the boxing culture pushing forward. Yeah, Canepa, yep. That's the snack I've been having for like the past few weeks, bro. The supermarket down the block from my crib just be having them bitches in styrofoam containers. So I'll be buying them, bro. Tripping. The whole last year, I ain't even get to eat them because I was battling my health issues. I don't know if y'all remember last summer, but there was like times where I wasn't going on live for days, and it was because, bro, I was battling a real bad infection, bro. Bro, no, I couldn't walk. I needed help going up the steps, and I had to have my son. Bro, that shit was so bad, bro. My son, who just started walking around that time, I had to have that nigga like walk up the steps with like my supervision because I couldn't hold the nigga while I was going up the steps. Like it was that crazy. I done been through it all, bro. I swear to God. Why if someone's from Philly? Lorenzo, stop. Stop. I'm talking shit about me, bro. It's not nice. Ban Marky Dan rights. What you mean, Slime? What you mean by ban his rights? Yeah, bro, it was hell, but I got through it though. I'll get through all that shit, bro. It's just that shit definitely fuck with you mentally for sure. For my birthday, I was fucked up, bro. I was battling. I had my fucking face all sunken in and all that. Shit crazy. But you live and you learn. One thing I know for sure, that shit ain't happening again. Mm-hmm. My last birthday, bro, I was all fucked up. Then once I found the right supplements to take care of my problem, I had trouble putting on weight for like 2 months. Now I'm too heavy. So, yeah. What illness do I have? Ulcerative colitis. What's up with these hashtags? Y'all niggas tripping. Ulcerative colitis is ulcers in the colon. It's a chronic illness that there's no cure for at this point in time. It's a yeah, y'all can do y'all research. I don't want to get too in detail with it, but Marky Dan wear a gimp suit. That's crazy. Slime, abuela food tastes like ass respectfully. That's crazy. It can't be for slime to be that big. Her food can't be that bad. But one thing I'm gonna say is that you never trust a nigga who got two first names as they name. Can't trust niggas like that. You cannot trust a nigga who got two first names. This nigga got a compound name. Marky Dan. I never heard that shit in my life. If you got two first names, read dangerous questions. Do I still hit the bag and work out? I ain't gonna lie, since my son been alive, been born, I fucking fell off of my gym schedule crazy. But I'll do certain shit just to see if I'm still in shape. Like I'll go do I'll hit the bag, run on the treadmill and shit like that. And I'm not like in peak condition, obviously, but I'm not all the way out of shape either. Yeah, I mean, so and I bounce back. I don't know if this is genetics or muscle memory. I don't know what it is, but I always bounce back in shape pretty quick. And I think it's because of the lifestyle I live too. I don't be smoking, drinking, none of that bullshit. So my fault. Computer died. You said a Dan is a person of high esteem on my island. Well, use a dick. So what's the word for that? Let's go, champ. You ain't a Dan, use a dickhead, cousin. And if you was a historian, nigga, you definitely ain't a historian on boxing. Let's go, champ. What type of historian is you, nigga? Civics, politics. It ain't boxing. Let's go, champ. What? Y'all niggas wilding in the chat. Slime el tortador. Oh, that's top 5 funniest names I've ever heard. Slime el tortador. That's a legendary name. I ain't gonna cap. That nigga Slime said torta pounder, cuz if she 350, she could get with me. If she weighed 199, then never mind. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate the time that I've been having on here, man. I'm about to do what I do. I'm gonna put this fucking Asian bitch through the mattress real quick. I'm about to beat the Ni Hao Kailan out that thing. You know what I'm saying? But until then, I'll be back at y'all with another live. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be chopping it up with Ernesto Tito Mercado. You know what I mean? We're going to be talking about what's currently going on in the sport of boxing, man. Yeah, I'm saying. And I'll be following up with another live 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to currently speak about what's going on in the sport of boxing. You feel what I mean? That's just what we do over here. Until then, this is Marcus Rosa, a.k.a. Mazuma TV. Marky Dan. Let me see a picture of your ugly ass, Marky Dan. Let me see a picture of your ugly ass. I'm going to find you. Anyways, y'all have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm about to go ahead and I'm about to go be what's that shit called? I'm about to go stroke the duck sauce out this hoe. Until then, y'all have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.